So the next story out of 365 stories, the golden book of 365 stories. A story for every day of the year, and we are on January the 2nd. Okay, January the 2nd. And for January the 2nd, it is called Mr. Lion's Northern Winter. Mr. Lion decided that he simply could not stand another hot African summer, so he ordered a ticket to northern parts. And off he drove to the airport. Watch out for those terrible northern winters, his friends advised as they saw him off. Take care. You don't freeze as hard as stone. So as soon as his plane arrived in New York, Mr. Lion took an apartment with a huge fireplace and put in an enormous supply of hickory logs. Then Mr. Lion began to enjoy life. He went on picnics and swimming parties with his new neighbors and played tennis with them in the park. And one day, they all took a boat trip around Manhattan Island and saw all the signs, all the sights, even the Statue of Liberty. Never had he enjoyed a summer so much. It was all too soon, and Mr. Lion prepared for his winter. He built an enormous fire and settled down by it with all his favorite books. Since his apartment was steam-headed, besides, the heat was soon terrific. Worse than an African summer, cried poor Lion, fanning himself. Still, one doesn't fancy freezing as hard as stone. And when his new friends stopped by to take him ice skating, it was all they could do to get him to put his nose outside. Okay. And when his new friends stopped by to take him ice skating, it was all they could do to get him to put his nose outside. But once he was out, Mr. Lion had a surprise of his life. Even little babies were out having fun in the beautiful white snow. Oh, wait, he cried. I must write to my African friends and tell them how wrong they were. He scribbled on a postcard, having wonderful time, will write when I can. Then away he went, skating, skiing, boogie boarding, all through the long, not too cold winter. So what happened was everybody was telling him, it's cold over there, stay inside. So, he made himself comfortable to stay in. And somebody asked him to come out, and he enjoyed it. So he let his friends know at home that he was actually enjoying the cold. And he had fun all through the whole winter. But unfortunately, the postcard Mr. Lion had sent was one of the public library, with a great stone lying on each side of the steps. Horrors! Cried his African friends. Poor old Lion has frozen. Just as we expected, you see. There he is, sits hard as stone with some other poor chap. He says he will write when he can, but it's easy to see that he'll never thaw out again. So what happened was that the lion, he went to write his friends on a postcard. You know, the postcards, they have the nice pictures on one side, and on the other side, you write something and you put a stamp there, and you put the address, right? So on that postcard, he didn't see that it was a picture of a library. Now, you know downtown Philadelphia, right? You know what a statue is? You ever seen a statue of a tiger, or a statue of a lion, or a statue of a person? Well, they saw two statues of lions, and they thought that that was their friend lion. Which, in this same universe, is statues of lions, and then it's talking lions, and it's kind of I don't get what type of universe this is, but come on, let's go. We're going. Now, it says, and though they felt very sad for Mr. Lion, they couldn't help feeling just a little pleased, too, to think they had been so right all along. You get that? That's crazy. They was happy a little bit.